Okay.
Oh,
There we go. I think we're live now. So, hey, welcome to Some More Time Podcast, everybody.
hey.
Yeah, so I'm Eric and Tim is here.
Hey.
And Joe's not here. Joe is elsewhere right now. But Keith is here eating Anita's.
So, Northern Virginia staple.
That is true. Yeah. And I always get the breakfast burrito. So I don't know when was the last time I had Anita's dinner.
No.
Because it's always.
What would you get there besides the special?
I always get breakfast burritos. Like that was my thing. When I lived in Herndon.
Yeah, but there's all the different meats you can get in the breakfast burrito, but the special is the one that's $2.79 instead of however much everything else costs.
Oh, okay.
So you get two specials for $6, and it's like
that's a good deal.
Yeah, that's more than enough food for a meal,
especially in this economy. Am I right?
I lived down there for 30 years. I didn't have Anita's until like a year ago.
Are you serious? You never had Anita's when you lived there?
Pam brought you there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's right.
She was like, "What do you mean you never had Anita's?" Like, I drove past it every night. I worked at Pizza Hut. I drove past it every day, like 15 times a day. I drive right past it and never ate there. So it's good.
It's very good.
It's very good.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Just never went.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are you gonna do? This is our first time doing YouTube Live as an actual podcast. Like Tim and I did something like this after the Metallica concert in 2018, but this is the first time where we've been remote, doing it through Zoom. And spoiler alert, we use Zoom for our podcast in case you didn't know.
Weird. Who else does that?
Right.
No one does that.
But yeah, so I saw earlier, I was just, scrolling through social media and I happened across, it just happens to be the 40th anniversary of this here album. Kind of an important album in the metal world.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, what the hell? Let's give this YouTube Live a try and see how it works out. I'm watching, like I can't see, it says comments are not supported, so I guess people can't comment on this while we're doing the live stream.
You can't do like a live chat kind of thing? Is there a live chat option?
I don't know, let me see.
You may have to have somebody monitoring it.
Yeah, maybe. It says comments are not supported on private. Oh, it still said the fucking private. What the hell?
Oh my God. No one's watching because they can't.
Oh my God.
It's a learning experience.
It is.
Let me see if it works if I just hit the link.
Yeah.
No, it's there. And there's a live chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anybody say anything?
No. And the only person watching is me.
That's what makes me wonder, is it actually going out to the public?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you're able to get it there if you've logged in as yourself.
I'm not logged in. I have like 3 different accounts on YouTube, so I'm not logged into that one currently. So perhaps with a direct link, I can get to it. But
are you saying anything, Eric?
We lost your audio.
I'm sorry. I muted because my dog was being an asshole. Barking. No. I'm on dog duty right now too. So
okay.
Let's see, live stream. Here we go. Let's see if I can change. Oh, it's set to public.
Okay.
So people should be able to watch this. I don't know if I can't look at it because if I share it, I'm sharing my computer audio. So if I try to watch it,
I'll keep my phone here. If there's any chatting happening,
all right, that's cool.
I'll just keep an eye on it. I'll try to glance at it every now and then. Probably have like multiple computers up, and we're kind of new.
Yeah.
Hey, leave us alone.
Yeah, right.
Two of us are in tech, but we're struggling.
I found my way there after like 2 minutes. I did find my way to see its visibility says public, so
yeah,
it should be streaming to all of our thousands and thousands of listeners.
Hey, we're trying
something new. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be a quick podcast. We just came on here to talk about this album. There is another episode that we did where we talk in length about this album. Like, so, if you want, you can go check that out. It was episode 1 of our 1983 discussions. The episode title is Treebeard. So
I remember that.
go check that out if you want to. But you know, I mean, this album is pretty important, so we should probably talk about it since it's the 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'll start and just say, like, I really didn't discover this album until after probably Puppets and Ride the Lightning, because Puppets was kind of our introduction to them, right? So
yeah, that was our neighbor brought that over to our house and showed us Puppets, and then he didn't have Kill 'Em All.
no,
I don't think he even had Ride the Lightning. I think he just had.
no, I don't
Puppets
think so either.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I mean, for me personally, I didn't really like. It didn't click with me immediately. Metallica,
No.
believe it or not.
I mean, either.
I know it's crazy.
We've mentioned that before on the show. We didn't like them at first.
I was 12, I think. And
I think. Well, I was 14 or 15, so you might have been.
Oh, so that must have been like 9.
I would have been 12 myself when I first, and that's, you know, a couple years younger than you, Eric. But I mean, that's the thing for me. This album, like seriously, this album is pretty much what started me on music.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, the kid down, you know, my friend down the street, he got, you know, he went in to buy Metallica, and he got the 2 things that they had available. They were Kill 'Em All, and of course, 598 Garage Days Revisited.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So those were the first 2 things that I recorded. You know, Kill 'Em All on one half of a dub tape,
box.
and then on the other,
There you go. Well, nice.
These are on cassettes. Cassette.
Oh, yeah.
Dub back to cassette. And then I fit the, you know, Garage Days on the other part, the leftover part of the side B. But I played the living shit. I mean, seriously, none of us got anything else from them because we were a bunch of, you know, I was freaking 12. You know, I didn't have I would be $2, you know, freaking my whatever the hell they call that you get once a week, you know.
Columbia House?
What, Columbia House?
No, what my parents paid me for doing chores. I got
$2. Allowance. Your
allowance.
$2. $2. So if I was going to go buy a tape, it was going to take me over a month of, you know, and not buying like sodas. One way or another, this album turned out to be like, you know, the first thing that, you know, I just seriously, like I recorded those 2 things, and that dub tape, seriously, I don't think it left my Walkman for at least 5 months. Like those are the only things that I listened to flat out until someone else got Injustice. You know, so I even told my story about how I got my, you know, Injustice from a brother that summer. But yeah, so seriously, like for the last part of 7th grade, all I listened to was that. And then, you know, for 8th grade, all I listened to was, you know, we got, you know, Lightning, Puppets.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Oh,
that's the complete opposite of us.
Yeah, well, for the first year, I mean, it was like, I had friends of mine in middle school at Frost that would bust on me nonstop because I would comment about like, oh man, they'd have like, you know, Dawkins patches. One of my best friends there, I don't even remember his name, but he had a Pink Floyd patch, and I just didn't get that because I didn't understand Pink Floyd at the time. I probably heard, you know, I'm sure I heard, you know, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 8 billion times in my life by that point. But one way or another, like I'm just like, Pink Floyd, what is that? Oh man, that's not metal. And he's just like, no, it's not metal. It's fucking awesome. Now I can sit here and say, yes, that motherfucker was absolutely correct. But one way or another, like, you know, he would always bust on me like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't like Pink Floyd, you don't like Dawkins. Well, fuck you. The only thing you listen to is Metallica. The only thing you have in your thing that you ever listen to is Metallica, and that's bullshit. You should expand yourself. Thankfully I did, but let's face it, you know, to just start off on something, you know, hey, yes, you know, my brother ended up with Puppets and Lightning. So did our friend down the street. One way or another, you know, I hate getting the best thing first. You know, for bands, like you guys were talking about one of our last episodes about, you know, like was it Ghost? What Ghost album to try, or what Gojira?
Start
off with. And seriously, like you know, let's face it, you know, Lightning was just coming out. Not Lightning, Justice was just coming out at the time. But for me, you know, it's just nonstop. You know, Blitzkrieg. You know, Hit the Lights. All that shit. Just it was fucking all I had going through my freaking brain. And then, you know, then I get Lightning, and it's like, oh, you know, that's a step up from Kill 'Em All. And then all of a sudden we get Justice, and it's like, thank you very much.
all...
I'll take another of that. And then we finally got puppets. It was like,
oh, that's crazy.
God, that's so crazy. It's all backwards and weird because we got puppets first.
Yeah.
They went
We went
back
it's all
backwards.
downhill from there, man. If we got to start with puppets.
Well, not, I mean, anyway. But also, you said Blitzkrieg. I got Blitzkrieg on this Creeping Deaths vinyl single because that wasn't even on Kill 'Em All when I got Kill 'Em All, because Kill 'Em All was still, I got this version, which is the Megaforce CD version.
Yeah.
That's the version I had. And if you open this up, there's nothing in here except for this little card.
Yeah.
And then it's got this weird looking,
Right. Yeah.
And that was weird though, going back, like you said. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that has Blitzkrieg and Am I Evil on it.
Yeah.
But going backwards from Puppets to Lightning, that's not a huge step backwards. It's still in the same vein. But going from Lightning to Kill 'Em All was like, whoa.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's just like, is this the same band?
Yeah, it's very raw and just,
I mean, his vocals alone, that's probably the biggest. I mean, production wise, of course, it was a big leap, but then also just his vocals were so much different on the first album.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, I guess it's not that much different on Ride Lightning, but there's moments on Kill 'Em All where it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd say it sounds like a different band. It kind of was a different band in terms of who wrote the songs. You're talking about things that were written with Mustaine, McGovney.
Yeah. You mean the greatest, metal composer that has ever lived, and really the guy that has written the majority of metal that has.
Hey, if you're bringing that up now, I may as well talk about this now. The fact that Dave Mustaine. So, Dave Mustaine is a brilliant guitar player. He's a good songwriter in his own right. Of course, Megadeth has amazing albums. But at the same time, I am so fucking tired of the Mustaine wrote them all shit that comes up with Metallica. Like, well, they wouldn't be the same without Mustaine. Yes, they would. Okay, look, and I get Mustaine. He'll say, "Oh, well, I helped James with this technique and all these other things." Great, fine, but don't tell me wrote them all. I actually just took the time, just to be an asshole. I took the time to go, okay, all of Metallica's material put together is you added up as far as how many minutes you take to listen to all of their stuff. It's 750 minutes. Dave Mustaine wrote 38 minutes of that. 5%. So Dave Mustaine wrote them all, wrote all 5%, but not wrote them all. So
yeah.
Keith, you look like there's a ghost above you or something. What's going on? Huh?
There is. I was just staring at a large mouse.
A mouse?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you make fun of Dave Mustaine.
That's what happens.
He comes to you in mouse.
That's what happens when you have two kids that can't keep the goddamn, crumbs off the couch.
Get an insight into Keith's world on this episode.
Wow.
My wife is going to be pissed.
Oh my God.
So anyway.
Yeah.
So that was my rant about Mustaine.
Yeah. We talked about Mustaine. I mean, he comes up quite a bit,
Yeah, he does.
He definitely infused some aggression into the band, some aggression, some style,
Yeah. I'm sure he helped James's stage performance too,
for sure. And I'm sure he showed him some techniques on guitar, no question about it. But Metallica is so much more than that. And also, there's this guy named Cliff Burton who kind of came not on this album so much, other than there's an awesome bass solo, but in terms of teaching them and pushing them in a certain direction, I would say Cliff had a much bigger influence than Mustaine. Yeah,
I was looking at. It's funny because you look at the Wikipedia for Kill 'Em All, and then you look at the Wikipedia for Ride Lightning. As far as songwriting goes, there's it's such a. I mean, obviously Burton didn't write. I don't think he wrote anything on the first album, did he? Maybe.
No, it was bass solo.
Bass solo, of course, yeah. But
that's it.
Yeah,
yeah.
And you look at Ride the Lightning, it's Ride the Lightning song itself, Burton. The next song, Burton. The next song,
yeah.
There's so much of that's Burton. He had 1, 2,
how do you
3, 4, 5? Yeah, 5 out of 8 songs had Burton helping write them. So yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's Lightning. We're talking about Kill 'Em All. We should maybe talk about the songs. Well, actually, we should talk about the fact that this isn't even supposed to be called Kill 'Em All. It's supposed to be called Metal Up Your Ass.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen Cliff 'Em All, you should. But there's a clip in there of that one of their live performances when they first got Kirk, and it's James holding up the new. This is our new album.
Yeah.
And it's called Kill 'Em All because we wanted to call it Metal Up Your Ass, but
They wouldn't
they
let
wouldn't
us.
let us. So
Yeah.
kill 'em all, kill all the record guys. Oh,
In hindsight, the record company was probably right.
they were very much right.
Well, not only that, but I mean, weren't they were on Megaforce?
Yeah.
I mean, Megaforce were cool motherfuckers, you know.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Johnny Z is still
that was a label that made metal legitimate, you know.
Yeah, this is a guy who had to take out loans just to put this album out. Like the guy practically went broke to put this album out.
Yeah.
He's like, I think we should change the name.
Fuck that guy, man. He
It's
doesn't understand the metal.
When a guy is eccentric and crazy as Johnny Z is telling you to change the name of your record, you change the name of your record.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it can go on a shirt, you guys. It's totally fine. Put the T-shirt
And
out.
it
Cool.
did.
And it did. Of
It
course.
did, yeah.
It's a classic. Classic. But
Knife sticking out of the toilet. Yeah.
Right. That's probably not the best idea for your debut album.
No.
First impressions and all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, Tim, you should mention what you were talking about earlier with the
So,
production.
Yeah, I pulled this out because I hadn't pulled this out in a long time. This is that Megaforce one I was talking about. I looked in the back and it says CD mastering by Alex Perialis. And that's a weird, like, Alex Perialis is the guy that did Practice What You Preach.
Anthrax.
He did Anthrax. He did some violent stuff. Kind of a seminal thrash producer guy from the
Wrathchild America.
from the 80s. And he mastered this CD, which is weird. You never really hear about that. His name does not come up when when Kill 'Em All comes up. You don't hear Alex Perialis' name mentioned ever. But lo and behold, there he is in the back of this. So I don't know if it sounds any different on this. I can't imagine. I don't know what that even means. CD mastering. Does that just mean he makes sure the levels are correct? I don't know. But I'm curious to pop this in and just see, and maybe compare it to, other versions. Like this is the Elektra re-release version from '87.
Yeah.
I don't know if it sounds any different than this. I have no idea. Then there's the Walmart version, which is I guess it's blackened. Yeah, it's blackened. So there's the.
This is the one. The only vinyl I have is from Blackened. It's got the little blackened thing on it. I have the CD, but I'm sure that's not Megaforce.
This is
Elektra.
This has got to be the same version that's in the box set, I would imagine. The same mastering.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Alex Perialis clearly must have a connection with Johnny Zazula, right? Because
New York and all that stuff.
Executive producer on Kill 'Em All is Johnny Z and Anthrax, and Alex Perialis worked together a lot. So there's got to be a connection there, I'm sure.
Get that guy Alex to do it. He can master it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it's a weird fact you don't hear about that often.
Well, here's a weird fact that I didn't even think about either is if you look at production, like who produced this album? Like you always think of the early stuff. Oh, it was, Fleming Rasmussen did most of their stuff. Well, Paul Curcio.
Yeah.
I think I never heard that guy. It's
No.
like the first time I've heard that name. Like I don't know why. I just never looked up who produced Kill 'Em All. I just didn't know.
We probably mentioned it on that episode, but that's
I'm sure we did, but
You're not
most
gonna
likely
remember
because
that.
you listened to it and realized, wow, this sounds like shit.
I
Whoever
mean,
produced this sucks. I don't give a crap who that is.
I would say in terms of the big four, it's better than Slayer's debut album.
Oh, by
sound
far.
wise, it's better than Anthrax's. It's better than the original version of Megadeth's.
the original version for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the original Killing's My Business sounds like utter garbage. So in terms of the big four, this is the best sounding one, debut wise.
Yeah.
So at least there's that.
I mean, I can play a little bit of this.
Right.
As long as we're talking about it, I can play some of these tracks,
Yeah.
I mean,
Hit the lights.
yeah. What started it all? They still play this live quite often. It's so funny that it opens with a fade in.
Yeah.
It opens with a fade in and just them going like, it's like the Rockstar ending, but in the beginning.
Yeah.
Rockstar beginning. hope this is coming through on the YouTube. I have no idea.
Should be.
There's that wow. Yeah. It's James, young James.
Yeah.
Funny.
I know. Going backwards to that was so weird. Going from lightning.
For sure, yeah.
That was like, whoa.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah.
And Lars using a ride cymbal.
A lot, and like tinny, like not even hitting the bell, just like ting, 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 ting. Yeah, Lars, and I mean, people pick on Lars a lot, but the band would not be where they are today without him. So
people pick on Lars a lot.
We have the guy on the podcast that does it all the time, right here.
Lars, no.
Fuck you, Lars. I mean, Lars will be the first one to tell you that he's not a great drummer. Like he's, as far as like technique, he's not the best.
Yeah, he doesn't care about that.
But yeah, exactly.
He's the best guy for Metallica. That's all he really cares
But
about.
if you look at some of the, some of the best drummers out there, they'll tell you like, yeah, Lars is good. Like,
yeah,
like what's the guy's name from Dream Theater? He used to be in Dream Theater.
Oh, Portnoy.
Yeah,
yeah, Portnoy. Like he was a big Lars fan.
Yeah.
Bunch of drummers out there that'll tell you that he was very important to metal, which
of course,
I mean, clearly was.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing. I'd definitely say, well, let's just, state the obvious, his use of he wasn't the first to use, double bass.
No.
I mean, every single, metal drummer probably already had double bass. Then one came out, and all of a sudden, every single motherfucker in the world was like replicating. It was like, oh, we got to do what that Metallica guy did. So, I mean, he has had an effect. Let's face it, he's never been the best or even close to the best, but he's been influential and involved in probably the most important band in the genre.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
I think Fight Fire with Fire did that. Really, that double bass attack. There's a whole section where
that's where it stops. Yeah,
like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Especially considering that Kill 'Em All doesn't really have a double bass on it.
Not really, yeah. I mean,
there's some triplets and whatnot.
I was gonna say there's
no double bass like full on attack at all.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
I'm trying to think about. Yeah, I can't think of a song that would have it.
I mean, maybe I think Four Horsemen has some triplet stuff in it. You would think Whiplash does, but I don't think it does. I think it's just like doom doom doom, like just single bass, kind of bouncing the kick drum a little bit, but it's not like later on he would add double bass to that song live, but on this recording it's pretty much just
very
simple. Yeah,
play a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely not double bass. That's like just toms.
Yeah. Or tom, yeah.
Yeah.
And nothing too fancy. Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy that went into the studio for Ride the Lightning and didn't really even understand like 4/4 time and stuff like that, and understanding like
he didn't have 4/4.
I mean, he didn't really understand like some of the really rudimentary, simple drumming things. The producer's like, well, you can't just do that, Lars. It's got to be within the timing of the song, and like, we're tracking this out, and it needs to match that. And he's like, huh? So,
learn as you go.
Yeah, he definitely went in like, deep end quickly and kind of learn backwards. But hey, it worked, so whatever.
Yep.
We should also mention the fact that, I mean, you hire Kirk, and all these solos were written, they were Mustaine solos, and they're like, well, these songs are all kind of done.
Right.
So I think what Kirk did was a lot of times he did like the first part of Mustaine's solo and then just took it into a different direction.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know he did that on like the Four Horsemen. When if you listen to Mechanics, the way that solo starts is the same as the Four Horsemen, but it goes in a different direction as soon as Kirk kind of
Yeah.
takes
There's that
over
one
his part.
solo in The Four Horsemen that starts out like that's
Yeah,
very Mustaine-y.
yeah, and Kirk did
Yeah.
that, but then I like Kirk's style better. I mean, Mustaine's a little more, he's a little nuttier. He kind of goes crazy.
Fancy guitar man.
Yeah, he's a fancy guitar man, which works great for Megadeth. I think in Metallica, there's a little more melody involved. There's a little more something stylistically better in Metallica.
Yeah.
That you can hum the solos in Metallica,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and Kirk's
Yeah.
kind of better suited for that. So
Yeah.
nothing
At
against
least,
Mustaine, but
yeah. The
he's better.
first 5 albums for sure with Kirk.
Yeah,
He kind of got away from it,
He's gotten away
whereas like,
from composing solos. He's gotten away from, yeah.
which sucks because those are his best solos, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Maybe he's like, well, my work here is done. I'm going to just fuck around. I don't know.
I mean, if I can't say what I'd be like if I was, nearing 60 and still on a metal band and trying to write solos. I'd probably do the same thing. Like, fuck it. This is what you get from me now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, other songs, I mean, for me, some of my favorites, like Motor Breath, Seek and Destroy, but it's overplayed.
Oh, yeah.
No Remorse, also
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the best.
I think most of these songs, if not all of them, work better live.
Yeah,
They
for
got
sure.
they got better over time when they play them live.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that was one thing. Like going through the track list. I mean, at most there's a mediocre song on here. I mean, the rest of the stuff. I mean, yeah, sure, the recording of this ain't great, but Four Horsemen, that is classic.
Yeah.
Hit the Lights, Motor Breath, Jump in the Fire, classic. Anesthesia. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, as an early kid, when I was just looking at bass and all of a sudden hearing that was like, no one else, no other band has ever done something like that since,
Right. And it doesn't even sound like bass half the time. Like,
No.
that's what's crazy about it. Yeah, and like you said, no one was doing that. Like there was no, who puts a bass solo on a thrash album, as the fourth track
on their debut
album.
Yeah, like fuck you. Here's a bass solo.
They must have been like, this guy is insane. This guy is just so crazy. He needs his own song just by himself.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, did Cliff like demand that? Like, I want my bass solo on the album?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't
if he
know.
was just like, guys, I want, he probably had some ideas and was writing some stuff. I don't know if he had made this to be an instrumental or whatever, but I'm sure he's just like, here's a bunch of stuff, and they're like, well, we already have all these songs written. And he's like, well, I'm doing this, and they're like,
well, I know he was doing it live,
sure.
but I don't know if he was doing it live before or after the album came out. You know what I mean? Because there are clips of him doing this live.
Yeah.
Like this exact part, all this stuff, right?
I think he did it before the album came out. I think this was
I think so
part of
too.
their live set was him doing his bass solo because they hired him and they're like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, I would love to be a fly on the wall in that conversation though. Like, you should do this on the album. I would love to know what his. I mean, obviously his answer was yes eventually, but I wonder if there was any like back and forth there. Where it's like, I don't think I should be on the album, or if it was just like, fuck yeah, this is going on the album.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why wouldn't
Go
it?
either way, yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't it? Because it's a bass instrumental on a thrash metal album.
Yeah.
there's so many answers as to why it wouldn't be, but it fits, and it was a staple. It was a fingerprint that really, I think, set these guys different from everything else that was, going on at the time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, and how many bass players did this influence? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
All of them.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them sitting right here.
Yeah. Like, I bet Steve Giorgio loved this stuff.
I'm sure, yeah.
Crazy.
All playing with his fingers, no pick.
Of course, yeah.
The right way.
Yeah. It does make you wonder where they would have gone if he hadn't died. But that's for the podcast.
Hey, it's yeah.
I mean, who knows?
We'll have the somewhere in time of that part of the multiverse, dealing with that question.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for 5 years and we've never talked about Master of Puppets, which is pretty crazy.
Never happened.
But I mean, this.
There's a few albums like that that are just sort of sitting there waiting for us to talk about.
Well, 86 was a pretty huge year. So
we haven't talked about Rain and Blood. We haven't talked about Peace Cells.
Nope.
We haven't even talked about Among the Living yet, that was 87.
No,
but still, we haven't talked about it.
Nope.
There's a bunch of stuff we haven't.
We haven't talked about Sound of White Noise yet.
We have not.
Oh, we're going to. I can't wait for that. You're going to be like the most disappointed person ever. Like, that was the biggest letdown ever.
I've heard it now once, and it's I enjoyed it. But
you did listen to it already?
I have. Yes, I did.
No, okay. All right. Tim
loaned it to me.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I made you a cassette. That's
right. I've been listening in my car when I'm driving for pizza.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what else there is to say about the album. I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about it and celebrate its 40th anniversary. 40 years is pretty crazy.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Go all.
Water. Oh, cheers with my water.
Exactly.
My Empire.
Well, mine's a
my Empire Strikes Back.
My Metallica Yeti.
Hey, you got your Metallica thing. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, cheers to Metallica and 40 years of Kill 'Em All. So, congrats, dudes.
Go play it if you're listening on it.
Yeah, that's right.
And of course, fuck you, Lord.